is the radio operator of the spacefaring vessel, LB-01. We were given the mission of broadcasting the serialized gaming podcast Safe Space to as many people as we possibly could. If you can hear this message, then clearly it's been a success. If that's the case, then you should know that what you're about to listen to is a tabletop role-playing game where 5 people roll dice and tell a story of science fiction and survival horror using the Mothership game system by Tuesday Night Games. It was originally formatted for YouTube, but the records have been modified for an optimal audio experience. However, be warned, this is a survival horror podcast, and there may be descriptions of violence, gore, psychological terrors, and mental trauma that some listeners may find disturbing. If you're still out there, then make sure you have your stim packs ready and whatever refreshments you may need. I'm starting the data recording playback now. This is Safe Space, Episode 7, audio file name, The Captain of Nightmares.
Last session, the crew of the O'Brien were aboard the Icarus, recovering from 2 android altercations, one with a malfunctioning and murderous chef, and the other with a bartender named Klaus that seemed to be acting strangely. Blaze Kelvin put the chef down, and the others had Klaus wrapped up and prone on the floor. ZAM also shot him in the head, but that's by the by. They tried to question the droid, but found that his answers were odd, broken, and raised even more questions. The passengers were nowhere to be found, but apparently had all fallen ill, and been instructed to head back to their rooms. After telling Klaus to go into sleep mode, the party then began a search of the guest deck, and after some light breaking and entering, discovered that the guests were not in their rooms at all. In fact, they were nowhere on the ship. Their belongings were left behind, and Dr. Forrest noticed signs that someone he knew was somewhere supposedly aboard this ship, and secretly he was eager to find them, although he did not tell the rest of the crew about this. They also discovered that something else was happening to the vessel, and found a strange inorganic growth was covering the front of it. Not only that, but it seemed to contain some grisly human remains. Forging onwards with Blaze Kelvin pistoled up and ready to go, the group made their way to the bridge, finding a damaged and worried android named Kel. Kel was left alone in the bridge and locked out of the ship's control, which meant she was powerless to stop the Icarus smashing into the Echo 237 satellite relay, a construct that was still fresh in the crew's mind. They wanted to see what was going on with the captain of the Icarus, and Kel led them to his meeting room and quarters. But what they found when they got there, however, was a nightmare. And that's where we're picking up this session. In fact, in quite grisly fashion. And I'm just going to paint another word picture for my lovely players right now, as you've just witnessed Kel, the navigational officer of the ship, horrifically attacked by something that you think used to be the ship's captain. Now, as it steps out of the darkness of the captain's quarters, you see it properly for the first time. I did a little bit of a description last time, but that's kind of off the cuff. Now let's really see what this thing is. You can see a familiar dark grey uniform accented in silver and gold like the rest of the Icarus crew, although this one seems to be definitely that of a captain. But it looks partially mangled, and seemingly there are acidic burns on it as well. From the left side of the chest it also begins to turn into an amalgamation of wires, metal and flesh. The left arm itself, just pipes, tubing and all kinds of strange mechanical bits and bobs interweaved with unidentifiable organic matter. You can see as the lights flicker in the captain's sort of meeting room, there's sinew and organic muscles which come together in this huge left arm that is like a writhing mass of wires. It's almost like talons at the end of the arm. That arm was just used to stab through the face of the android that you were talking to and pin it to the ground before it seemed to partially devour them right in front of your eyes. And you can still hear the sickening sound of the as whatever was inside this android is being sort of sucked up and consumed by this monstrosity. Then it sort of looks up at you with a face that looks like a weathered grey-haired man, but it seemed to be stretched. The skin is stretched too tightly over bone and machine. 2 red dots where eyes should be, as its jaw, which hangs far too low, sort of trembles and a strange computerized growl echoes out. I'm going to need you all to make a panic check immediately. Upon seeing this horrific sight.
That's the one when we have to roll over our stress, isn't it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Fuck.
What does everyone get? Let's take it from the top. Jim, what is your stress level?
My stress level is 14.
Wonderful. Now, just for the people at home, just in case you're wondering, the mechanic of Mothership is when people they fail on checks and things like that, they get a point of stress, and this goes up and up and up. And if you fail a panic check, then you may get a condition or something might happen to you, or there's all kinds of fun stuff. I didn't realise that the stress also carries on to the players as well, but that's another thing that we'll probably talk about at a later date. So Jim, and they have to roll above their stress level in order to not panic.
Below, isn't it?
No, you've got to roll below. No, you've got to roll above. Because if you roll below, you get whatever it is. It's the only time in Mothership you want to roll above the number you have. So you have a stress level of 14. Jim, what did you roll on your D20?
I rolled a 1.
This? Did you roll a 1? Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Then do not panic. because this, if you roll a 1, you are then laser focused. You have advantage on all rolls that you make. Could you roll me 2d10, please? So just roll a d10 twice.
A 3 and a 4. So
for the next 7 minutes,
yes,
ZAM BRAZEL is focused. So you have advantage on all rolls. It's one of those beautiful games where natural 1 in a panic check is what you want to get.
All right.
So
well done, me.
Yeah. So you panicked, but you roll, because in the game everyone starts with a minimum stress of 2, and you can't go below 2. So they've built in this wonderful mechanic that if you do roll a 1, then something good happens. Wendy,
how will I know when my 7 minutes are up?
We'll play through that.
Set an alarm.
Set an alarm.
Starting now.
Yeah. Wendy, what was your stress?
So Wendy's stress is 12, and I rolled a 13. So,
Wendy does
okay.
not panic, which is good, because she is the closest to this creature as we speak. As we said, Wendy did try to attempt to pull Kel out of the way before the door opened. So therefore you're in the thick of it, Wendy.
I want to be.
Blaze, what did you roll?
Well, my stress is 6.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 4.
Could you roll me one a d10, please?
Certainly.
Oh dear.
8.
Okay, you are overwhelmed by this. All actions at disadvantage for the. What did you on your d10?
8.
For the next 8 minutes, you've got disadvantage, and permanently raise your minimum stress by 1. So your minimum stress is now 3.
God damn. Is that a trauma response?
Oh, yes. Do you have anything?
Whenever you panic, everyone else nearby must make a fear save.
Okay, before we do this, we'll get the docs, because everyone made a panic check. So, Doc, what was your stress level?
15.
Okay, what did you roll?
12. I'm already deflated. I don't.
You are deflated. You have another condition, Doc.
So
You're in hell. No, you are haunted.
Oh, fuck off.
He's got ghosts.
And the wonderful thing about this is the players have given me little bits of backstory, etc. So who knows how I can torment them as the time goes on. But because the Marine in the party, the known Marine in the party, did panic, everyone has to make a fear save. Zam with advantage.
Can I use my military training to recognise that this might be a thing that happens?
I like that. Yeah, I'll allow that. Okay, Zam, what did you get?
22. Which is a pass, and it doubles.
Oh, okay. So I mean, you're laser focused. How much can Zam? I will say on the. Oh God, you've already got advantage.
Maybe we've got another Marine in the party.
Yeah.
I've turned it ablaze. Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm coming for you, brother.
Okay. I will say. For a 22, it's because when you get a double on this game, it's criticals, and that was such a good roll for Zam. I think it's only fair that you have, and it was on a fear save, so I'm going to give you this a little bit of home brewing. I'm just doing on the fly. You have a fear save success in your pocket, so at some point, if you get one later down the road, you can say it's an automatic success on that. Okay? Because it's a sort of situation where I can't give it's not like you.
Yeah, no
You're
worries.
doing really well. So just making out of that. Okay, how did Wendy do?
So even with the little bonus up to trying to get below a 52, Wendy rolled a 68.
Oh, so that's another point of stress. Mm-hmm. Wendy and poor Doc Forrest, who's now deflated and haunted.
Well, I rolled a 35. My fear score is 14. So.
Okay, another point of stress for Doc. What is
does haunted give me any actual?
There is nothing mechanically.
Oh, that means you're going to be a prick later, though, doesn't it?
That's the bullying that Lizzie was talking about earlier. What can I say, PJ? You gave me a bit of a backstory.
Yeah, I know. It's my own fault.
So, all of this has happened. And Wendy, you're up in its grill. There isn't a surprise round here, so it's just a straight up speed check. Everyone give me a speed check to see whether you go before or after the creature. And while they're doing this...
shit. Sorry, Vince, because of deflated, how much stress do I gain for other people failing those checks as well?
Oh, God.
And does it count for the panic roll?
Oh. Yes, whenever a nearby crew member fails a save, gain 1 stress. I will say in this sense, just gain 1 extra stress. Okay? I'm not going to...
Do I gain a stress from any of my...
Did you fail anything?
Well, I failed the panic check, but...
Yeah.
Did you get stress? Yeah.
I won't do it for this. No, I think it's going to be quite stressful anyway. So, and also your minimum stress has gone up to 3, so I'm not...
Yeah.
Okay. How's Doc Forrest doing right now on his stress?
17 for stress now.
17 for stress. Okay. Right, everyone roll a speed check.
I can work with this, it's fine.
Yeah. Remember, in Mothership, this isn't necessarily a let's all fight, and certainly PJ's been playing it brilliantly because the Doc isn't a fighter.
He's a coward.
Yeah. So, and it is a game of survival, so, look for things, look for cover, all kinds of good stuff like that. Okay. Who succeeded their speed checks?
Hell yeah.
Okay, let's get some lovely numbers. Zam, what did you get?
I got 49, and my speed is 45, so I failed.
Okay.
But I don't get stress on that, do I?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing it on the speed checks. That would be sadistic.
That
not
counts
like
for my
you at all.
deflated as well. I don't get stressed for him failing his speed.
No, I'm not going to do that to you, PJ. The doc won't last past 15 minutes if we're doing that. Right, okay.
And
Wendy.
it just got interesting.
Yeah. Wendy.
I got a 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. Blaze.
73. That's a fail.
Okay.
Come on, Blaze, we need you.
No. I'm bricking it.
Doc, what did you get?
67 fail.
67. Oh.
I hate all my dice tonight.
Okay. So.
These are my lucky ones.
Now, Wendy, you go first. This thing is... It can't touch you right now. It is nearby. Range guidelines in Mothership, there are 4. There's close, nearby, far away, and out of range. Weapons and things like that have those kind of range things on them. So it can't touch you right now. Because it is also... Its claw is pinned into the floor, and it is just finishing devouring this poor android that was trying to help you. In the room that you're in... You're on the back of the room where there's a door on the far right hand side. There's a sort of a large desk, a large captain's desk, that you're probably on that side of the table. You're behind the desk. I don't know whether the other players might be on the other side of the desk because they only just sort of entered when you rushed forward to try and stop Kel getting in.
Are we actually in the quarters? Sorry, or are we in the office?
Well, Wendy would be. I think the rest of you would pretty much be in the doorway or somewhere close to it. I don't think you're bunched up in the doorway.
From the office to the quarters, though, so we're in the office.
You're in the office. You're not in the quarters because this thing stepped out of the doorway. There's like you can't see any in the quarters. It was a dark room, and this thing came out and just attacked Cal. And Wendy, what would you like to do?
So Wendy is now in instinct mode, and all of the kind of Wendy has gone. Now she's this kind of wired up little bomb that's about to go off. So Wendy is going to run over to it, get my boots, which are dangling over my shoulder, and kind of wrap them around his neck and start to squeeze and try and garrote him with my tied up bootlaces.
Okay. Just to paint a picture, this isn't a small man. It's not a small man. He
but I'm an angry lady.
He towered over Cal. Yeah, you can totally do this, by the way, and I'll let us play it.
If it requires jumping up onto the desk to get the height to then do it,
you could totally do.
Hold him onto,
you could totally do that. I will say, make a combat check.
I mean, I've got 2 guns, but that's boring. Can I add my athletics to my combat check?
Yes.
Okay. That is a 2.
So you see, as the rest of you and Blaze, you're freaking out at seeing this thing. Like, Wendy steps back and then all of a sudden just sort of like, almost parkour! Just hops onto the desk and sort of takes a step and climb, because as this thing's left arm is still sort of pinned down to the ground, she sort of she uses it as another step to get round the back of this thing. Wendy, what you see when you're on the back of this thing, this isn't just a normal back. This is a hideous, mutated... You see now, and you just land on it, and you begin like trying to choke this thing. With your bootlaces.
Still attached to my boots. So
Yeah.
So
So you're trying to... and you catch it, because there's no sort of mouth, and where the jaw hung down, you catch it sort of in the mouth, and you're sort of pulling on it. This is making this sort of like... And it's just like it's hideous, and it echoes around the room, which is nightmarish. And you feel, as you're sort of on its back, like your knees are sort of like... The flesh on the back is sort of undulating and moving, and you feel your knees are sort of... It's almost like your knees are lowering into soft mud as this thing, and you can see as you can still hear the from the wires, and on the back you see like these small pockets of like sort of gungeon liquid just going as this thing is just consuming this android, and you're just pulling away at this thing. Could you roll me a D5, so a D10 in half, please?
That is a 1.
Oh. Okay.
I love my D10s that roll low.
Okay, and as you pull at this thing, you feel like
I knock loose a tooth.
well, the teeth are further up. You feel the laces sink into the soft flesh, and it gives a little bit as you're sort of tearing into this creature, and it's sort of writhing, and the rest of you can see this thing go, it's trying to move, and it's still got its arm stuck in the floor currently.
I'm just going to yell,
Either shoot it or get out of here.
This is carnage. Is that it for your turn, Wendy? Yeah. It's now the creature's turn.
Lee.
As it sort of goes, and it sort of twitches a bit, and it tries grabbing up at you with its free hand. Now, when it reaches towards you, you see that this is a hand that's a human hand that looks slightly melted in places. You can see bones and bits of metal in it, and it's going to try and grab you. And it does. Just. As you feel like this, as you're pulling, this thing sort of grabs hold of your jacket, and it's going to try and throw you off, just completely throw you off. That will be its move. So roll me a strength check, please, Wendy, to see if you succeed on this strength check. This isn't a panic thing. I'm not going to get you to panic, but if you succeed, you stay on. If you fail, this thing's throwing you across the room, and you may get a bit damage.
That is, my strength is 33, and that's a 31, so that's a success.
As this thing is trying to, and you just the veins in your neck. You're just like, fuck you. And that's the creature. You see this thing trying to grab hold of Wendy, and now it is
Happy here.
It is the laser focus ZAM BRAZEL.
Okay.
There's a lot of growling in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my handheld laser cutter.
Now, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Because as we've said before, your laser cutter is not handheld. Your laser cutter is a Gatling gun.
Oh, no, not beneath.
Are you talking about the hand welder?
The hand welder, sorry. Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
No, cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
will
so
have to go right up to
Beneath
this
back
thing.
on the ship. Yeah, the hand that's
Yeah.
trying to, is attached to Cal.
The one, I would say the one that's closest... Yeah, you're going for the arm that's attached to Cal. Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to try and cut through that.
Okay, roll a combat check.
I get advantage on this.
So you're going to move in. So your movement will be to rush into the room.
Yeah.
And then your action is going to be to try and cut into this thing. And when you
Can
get up
I
there,
add industrial equipment to it, or
yeah, why not?
yeah?
Yeah.
So 51. Right. Well, that's a 21. So I'm going to try and roll. I'm going to roll again just in case I get. We'll ignore that one. 21.
Okay, so you run over, and as soon as you get over there, this isn't a thin arm. This is like a tree trunk, so you know, and you start cutting into it. And as you're cutting into it's like, I mean, the look of it and the liquid that comes pouring out is very reminiscent of the sort of stuff that you saw on Echo 237. There's this brown metallic coppery like sludge just starts going as you're cutting into it. Could you roll me a d10 please?
Certainly.
This thing can cut through airlock doors, so it's not an immediate weapon. You're going to have to keep going for a bit.
I rolled a 0.
So you got 10.
Yeah. Have some of this.
You are hacking into this thing, doing a lot more damage than the warden thought he would do. But
Never underestimate ZAM BRAZEL.
But ZAM BRAZEL is also slightly Ash from the Evil Dead right now, as all this sludge is just hitting him, and Wendy's choking it.
It's going to be Evil Dead. Who's laughing now? Who's laughing now?
I mean, if Blaze wasn't going to panic before then, what is he seeing? I'm surprised the doc is still alive. Witnessing this. These are his friends that are doing this. But Zam, you are all up in its grill as you're both attacking it, and now I believe it is the doc's turn. I would imagine Doc is behind Blaze because Blaze sort of entered the. You're kind of already a little bit in the room, Blaze. I would imagine before you stop. Yeah. So you're in the doorway, Doc. It's up to you what you want
to. How much room is there to manoeuvre around?
It's a decent sized room. It's not like a tiny room that you can walk all the way around the table. Imagine Picard's room was like, he had a desk and there's a little bit of space in there. It wasn't too much of a cubby on, but you got room to get in the room and out of the reach of this thing if you want.
I want to try and get in the room, move around it, and sort of just start, because I'm useless in this fight. So I just want to then sort of start having a look around the room to see if I can figure out anything about what's been going on. And
yeah, you can certainly do that. Your movement is to get in the room, and you do see on this desk there is a small bottle of whiskey which is fallen over, and it was open. When Wendy jumped onto the desk, it sort of knocked it over. And this whiskey, it's expensive looking whiskey.
Really sorry.
Barely register it.
Yeah, barely register it. You do see there's a data pad also on this desk near where the captain's seat are. The chair's knocked over. There's some books. There's some sort of general sort of books, but the data pad is the thing that catches your eye. And there are drawers. There's one set of drawers within this desk. If you get into the corner and sort of looking around like a rat, get into the corner and go... Yeah, with everything else that's going on, the data pad, I would say, would be the first thing you notice. That is your movement. Though. You've still got... You could do another action. You could move. You could run out of the room if you want.
Just sort of duck down.
You want to duck down?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can take cover because the desk is a decent amount of cover as well. So yeah. And all you can do is hear the sounds of like the.
I'm trying to avoid rolling dice right now.
Yeah. Play smart, people. Play smart. It's not always about the dice. But now it is all about Blaze Kelvin. What does Blaze do? There's a moment where your breath is caught in your throat, and you've never seen anything like this, and you've seen some shit.
I'm overwhelmed, Vince.
We're gonna die.
He's a real method actor.
Can I try and shoot it?
Yeah. You are
and not hit Wendy.
Yeah, you are far away. I would say on the structure of where this thing is. I would say it can't get to you where it is. So I'm adjudicating it that you can. It's normal range for the pistol. And you're aiming not to. Where are you aiming? This is a hulking thing. Imagine there is a large mass here. Wendy's on the back choking it. Zam is kind of in the way of the arm.
He did say he didn't want to shoot Wendy, so he never expressed any interest in not shooting Zam. So,
There it is, folks.
There it is.
There's the Zam paranoia.
Yeah.
It took a while.
I'm aiming through Zam. Centre mass. If I can
catch it in the
clear shot.
Catch it in the chest, kind of where the jaw is right now. Imagine that.
Maybe slightly lower. Maybe more like diaphragm area.
Okay. Make your combat check.
I get a +10 because of the military training.
Yeah.
Ooh, 19. Ooh. But 57 fail.
The shot goes wide. Doesn't hit anyone. But in the concerted effort to try and miss ZAM BRAZEL, shooting him in the back. The shot
watch yourself, Blaze.
Ricochets off. And you haven't moved. You're still there.
You call yourself a goddamn Marine? Act like a Marine.
There's all this gore. There's all this gore covering Wendy's face.
Run at it.
You're gonna run at it. I will say that'll be your action, just to run straight at it. Then that's your turn over.
Yep. I'm overwhelmed, Vince. I'm not thinking right.
Okay.
Gav, do you have a third character rolled up?
Doing it now.
Okay. Then
Clay's Belvin.
Okay, so let's get some more speed checks. Second round.
Still at disadvantage, right?
Oh, my low dice is falling on the floor.
Yes, you're at disadvantage.
I can do these at advantage as well, can't I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Even my lucky dice, which is a set Gavin bought me a couple of years ago that normally roll really well, just fucked me over.
No, they've run out of luck.
Yep.
Okay, Zam, what do we get?
31.
Is that a success?
My speed is 45.
Beautiful. Okay, Wendy.
I got 61 against a target of 37, so that's not good.
Okay.
It's because I dropped the purple dice on the floor and I can't go and pick it up until the break.
You can pick it
I'm
up.
a professional.
No, you can pick it up if you want.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. Blaze...
No such thing as lucky dice.
You'll die now because Lizzie couldn't pick up the right dice.
My dice.
Blaze, what did you get?
17.
With disadvantage as well.
Yeah, the first one was 13.
That's amazing.
Oh, you see?
That's amazing.
The training's kicked in.
Yeah. Although I think, if I remember correctly, you've got 3 bullets in that gun now, haven't you? Because you had 4 in each clip, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
From
I
last
was
session.
handed a fresh pistol as well.
Oh my, how many pistols have you got?
They've got
I've
2
got
each,
2.
haven't they?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Oh
I've
yeah.
got 2.
God, what have I done?
Yeah, Zam handed him out. Was it Zam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Doc, what did you get?
I rolled 37 against a speed of 33.
So close, so close. But Blaze, you're rushing up to this thing, and the smell hits you immediately. This rotten, horrible, acidic smell.
Zam.
Sorry about that. I got a bit excited.
And you get right up. You can get close up to this thing now. What would you like to do?
Where's Wendy situated?
She's on its back, like she's on its
How-
shoulders. She's sort of
Are
like.
you like leaning back, choking it, or are you like almost, cheek to cheek?
No, I think I'm more kind of almost like kneeling on its
Yeah.
shoulder blades
Yeah.
and kind of leaning back to kind of pull.
Yeah.
That makes
Can I
sense?
try and shoot it in the head?
Yeah, its head is sort of. It's strange because it's almost like a hunchback in some ways, the way it's mutated and the way Wendy's moving at it. But she is lifting its head up, so you can try and shoot it.
And is its jaw still open? Because if it is, I would like to.
Yeah, its jaw is open. The top of the head moves and the bottom doesn't move.
I'll pop my gun in there.
You're going to put it in the mouth.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh.
Make a combat check, please.
Oh, that's not good. But let's see if it gets any worse. No. 71.
71. Misfire.
Oh no!
It's just. Yeah.
Can I try again? Or do I have to do a movement?
What do I do? What do I choose? Now, the internet's probably going to say, well, guns don't work like that, and I don't know it.
Space guns.
Space gun. Yeah, space pistols, isn't it? I would say that the round... Because the reason that this gets more complicated is because you put your hand in its mouth and then fired it.
Yeah.
So, I would say it's probably going to take your action to pull the gun out and pop the cartridge out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. So you're still up in its grill, but you're just going to be ready for the next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn space junk!
Okay. And with that, it's Zam's turn. Are you still cutting away?
Am I doing any real damage?
Oh,
to
you're
it?
cutting into this thing. This thing,
Yeah.
you're carving into this arm.
Okay. Go carry on then.
God.
So it's still my 51.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 48. That's an 81, so we'll ignore that and say 48.
Okay. You keep cutting away. Roll me another D10, I believe, is it? Yeah.
7.
7. And I've got a roll on the wound table.
Oh. Get in.
There's lots of blood. Like, this thing is
Yeah.
just absolutely... It's just geezers of it. It's just... you
Sam's
would,
no screamer, she's just cutting through.
yeah,
He's got his eyes closed almost.
it's...
No, he hasn't got his eyes closed.
No. I would say it will take you another go
Okay.
to cut. You think you can hear this thing?
Yeah.
Would
Is
you,
it reducing the amount of power it's drawing then?
who knows?
Okay.
You've got another. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Then roll another combat check.
Okay. Ooh, we don't like that. Oh. Failed that one.
Fail. Okay.
Yeah. So do I get a point of stress?
Point of stress because the welder stops. You're cutting through, and it's all of a sudden.
Goddamn piece of space junk!
As this thing's just. Okay.
Oh dear.
And it is now the creature's turn. It has 3 targets. It is going to pull its arm out of the android's head and just hear as it just this empty pocket in a flight suit just. And Wendy, you're still holding on. You don't feel like you're still sort of struggling with it. And Zam, you're sent reeling. That will be its first action. And then it's going to lash out with this arm at Zam, who's been cutting into it. And I rolled a 7. As this thing just all of a sudden just catches you off, like that, the hand welder stopped and you paused for a moment, and all of a sudden you saw the thing happen, and it cracks you right in the face, and like the metal and everything, just the blunt force trauma of it, and you can feel like just the shrapnel also cut you across your face as well, and throws you across the room for 13 points of damage.
Oh, right. So that's 13 on the health bar,
yeah? Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
I think Zam's pretty sturdy, so I don't think he's suffered a wound yet. But he has been knocked like across the room, and he's prone, and he's
not quite needing to roll for a wound as yet.
Cool. But you are bleeding. That was blunt force trauma, but your side of your face is sort of.
I'm gonna spit some teeth out.
Yeah.
Yours?
Yeah.
Maybe
for a bit of fun, I'm going to say a bit of fun. And you won't incur stress on this, but just roll me a strength check, please, Sam.
Is that with advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 97, and that's a 35. So. Strength is 34, so it failed.
Oh, you dropped the hand welder when it hit you. The hand welder's still right next to it, but you got launched 10 feet across the room, and Doc, you see this, like him hit the wall hard. And like he's bleeding from his head, he's covered in this strange goo. And it's your turn, Doc.
I'm going to see if I can find anything on this data pad, occasionally glancing up to make sure that he's coming at me.
Don't mind me, I'm just going to my Kindle.
While I lie there.
Exactly like what Gav just did, yeah.
Waitrose order, I must get it in.
I might be able to
Other
find
supermarkets are
Monster's weakness.
How much for next day delivery? Ridiculous. You can certainly see on the data pad immediately, because all of this is happening like a 10-second moment. There is a screen containing notes on guests who are currently in cryosleep.
Guests in cryosleep?
Mm-hmm. There's a few guests who are currently in cryosleep. One of which is Sarah Madigan. Okay. The other name, as I just pull up my little guest sheet, Roy Zetterling is in there. Flint Madigan is also in cryosleep.
Okay.
And there are another. It seems like there's more pages to it, but when you go to try and swipe it won't let you. You need the captain's thumbprint.
But
it's like it's frozen. It's like we've all had an iPad or a Kindle or something like that that's just frozen up, and you're like,
got the information I want.
yeah. So that was. I mean, I would say with the 10 seconds in order to sort of like check through all this. Do you want to move, Doc?
Yeah, towards the door.
Okay, the doc is running for the door. Okay.
We can go now.
And it's Wendy's turn.
Okay. Tell me when to stop. What I'd like to do.
I will never tell you to stop.
Two.
Wendy, go for it.
I brace myself so that I'm holding on to the boots with one incredibly strong arm. Get my gun out and shoot down into its head.
Oh my god.
I'm a badass today.
I love this. I love this. Okay.
If I can shoot twice, that would be amazing, but you probably won't let me.
I would say because of the nature of...
Still having to kind of...
Yeah.
grapple
If
it.
that's what you want to grapple it and you want to shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. I will...
I'm keeping hold of it, and
Yeah.
I want to shoot it.
I will. Let's play it like this. I will allow you to do the shot, no matter
Yeah.
what. But we'll do a strength check first to see
Okay.
if you can hold on and shoot. You'll still be able to shoot, but you might fall off it afterwards. Yeah.
God, I need that purple dice. No, come on, green. Happen. So this is strength.
Yeah. With your
With
athletics,
athletics?
yeah, you can have athletics.
I'm guessing military training's a bit of a stretch.
I'll allow it.
So I'm looking for a 53. Come on, the green.
50. Yeah.
Thank you, greens.
You
Showed off.
dig your knee in even further into this soft, strange organic flesh, and then you put the gun down. Make a combat check
So I'm looking for a 56.
with advantage. With advantage, I'd say, because
Well, the first one's a 14,
see if you get a critical.
and the second one's a 16. So I really mean to shoot this person,
Okay, then roll me your damage with your pistol.
which is a D10.
It is 1d10, yeah.
Cool. Use the high one. 7.
7. What an action scene this is. This is unbelievable. As Blaze, you see this, Wendy's just bang! She's just firing into it. She goes, and it's still sort of writhing around. This is it was a back of the head shot. This should take something down. And it doesn't. It's sort of writhing, and like you can see the mouth start going as there's more sort of like wires and stuff begin peeling out as this human like face is becoming less so, as it's just as whatever is within it is angry, getting angrier as it's just being cut to shreds and shot and beaten up. But Wendy's still on its back, and she's in a prime place for another 2 shots next time. Now that she's got the gun out, she's gone full Wick. She's gone full John Wick. Another speed check. I knew the first half of this episode was going to be non-stop action.
Ooh, bugger.
Okay. Zam, what do we get? You still got advantage, remember, Zam?
Yeah, 28. Speed is 45.
Okay. You are currently sort of prone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You're on the floor and bleeding.
Well, the other one was a 99, but I'm not going to take that.
Oh, yeah. You're not gonna take that. Go out an airlock. No.
Go on, Jim. Go on.
Hooray!
Wendy, what did you get?
77.
Okay. Thankfully, that wasn't during the actual fight. That could have gone wrong.
I know.
Blaze, what did you get?
51 fail.
51 fail.
Still not right.
And the doc?
Straight 30, which is a success.
Oh! Amazing.
Now that he's running away. Yeah.
Yeah. Zam, you're shaking your head. You're seeing stars, and the top of your head feels warm. You can feel the blood running down your head as you look over and you see the doc running out of the room. What do you do? As you're sort of sat against the wall at the moment and you can see what's happening. You can hear just gunfire.
So what kind of damage? What's looking weak on there?
The arm is, the arm that hit you is badly damaged. It's like sort of like partly hanging off. It's like you've half cut a vegetable root and like it's the stem of it's sort of split. And to be fair, if this was a human body, it's slightly melted and being torn to bits anyway, so it's hard to tell what is damage and what is whatever the hell it is. You've never seen anything like this. But there's definitely damage happening. You just saw Wendy shoot it in the back of the head. But it's still standing. It's still standing and moving.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether I should move back to trying to cut the arm off, or whether I should use the nail gun.
I would say Zam would know this. The laser cutter is going to do more damage than the nail gun. Yeah.
He's going to go back to... I'm going to get that goddamn arm.
So
I'm going to move towards.
So you stand up. Stand up.
Pick up
the hand welder.
Hand welder.
And you're going to try cutting it.
So combat.
Yeah.
And I can still use my industrial equipment.
Yeah. This thing's moving now, though, so it might be.
Yeah.
So I would say, with that in mind, I would have said disadvantage on the roll because this thing is moving and it's like wires and stuff. So it'd be a straight roll.
Oh, right, okay, because I've just done 2 rolls.
Okay, what was your first roll?
So the first roll was 80-something. And the second roll is a 1.
I will take your first roll.
Roll again!
No, actually, to be fair, I said that when you hadn't rolled, so we'll ignore both of those rolls. Straight roll.
Straight roll, okay.
Yeah, see if you can...
Oh, God. 33. So that is a critical success.
Roll the damage.
Must be D10.
Mm-hmm.
And is that with advantage as well?
No, that was...
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's a 3.
3. It will be 13 points of damage in total. Because you got a critical, I'm allowing it to be max damage plus whatever you rolled. 2. You carve the arm off. As it swings back, you ignite the hand welder just in time, just go, and you lean back just as this thing swings towards you, and and wires and gore just scatter across the desk, and now it's just like a stump that's sort of all of this oil and strange mechanical liquid and blood is flying everywhere. But you've cut the arm off. I don't know what it is about these players. I give these creatures methods of killing people, and these players take them away.
It's almost like we've got good strategy.
Exactly. Somehow.
I take a cow.
You haven't invented a kicky monster yet.
No. Oh, I'll write that down. But you're right there, Zam. This thing is, it's lost. It's lost an arm. It's still kicking and it's still angry. Okay, now it's the Doc's turn.
So I'm not.
You got to do what you got to do.
I'm not leaving without them.
But you're not staying.
Because I will die alone on this ship.
It's getting into a cupboard.
There's no.
How stressed is the Doc?
He's on 17.
Okay. And
Have you got a key card?
He doesn't have the inhaler either, does he?
You won't be able to get through the doors, will you?
No, I wouldn't.
If you're going to try and go to the crowpods.
Oh no, I'm not leaving this room on my own.
Right, okay.
I turn back around. What's the situation that I see?
The wires in the arm have just been cut off, and they scattered across the desk, and they sort of land in the spot where you were just a few moments ago. So it's probably good that you weren't there at that moment in time. Zam is absolutely covered head to toe. Wendy is just on top, just firing, and Blaze has he essentially just freed up his gun, and he'll be ready to go in a minute. So these three are in it.
I roll my eyes. I'm going to regret this. I pull my vial of acid out of my pocket, and I'd like to run in and just ram it down the creature's throat.
Another secret marine.
Okay, love it. So from out your pouch, you root round and you find the acid.
The only one I got.
So you run up to this creature, which is a nightmarish vision, as you're going to have to push past Blaze in order to get. So there's a maw that's opening up. It's sort of a dark shape that you saw Blaze put his hand into just a minute ago before pulling it back out. You have a vial of acid. Okay? How do you... This is not a rip-off of a catchphrase. This is just for me to know. How do you want to do this?
Literally just get my hand as close to it as I can and then drop it in
its mouth.
In the mouth. Yeah.
It is the creature's turn next, Doc. You can do this. You can do this, and because it's a vial of acid, I will tell you how much damage it does in a second. But you need to roll me a speed check to get your arm back out before the bear trap shuts.
Okay, here we go.
Roll a speed check.
I think I just lost my hand.
Can we give him advantage at all?
No.
Can't use surgery on this, can I?
No.
Yeah, no, I've rolled a 52 and my speed is 33.
Okay.
What if Zam stumbles because he's still out of it and just knocks into the dock after he's dropped the acid?
The doc made his choice.
Okay.
Doc's a fucking idiot.
Oh, you did say you were going to regret this. So.
Yeah. Yeah. As you put your hand in, and as you sort of let go of the vial, it comes down. The players didn't hear that, but you lovely people at home did.
Yeah, that one
Okay,
worked.
did
you?
Yeah, actually caught that.
Yeah. What you don't hear is the bones snapping. And we'll find out how much damage it does after the break.
Oh, fuck you.
Brutal.
Join us in 5 minutes to see how much crazier this is going to get. I am loving this.
Wow.
This is amazing. But Doc... Right, we'll see you in...
New character.
Yeah, we'll see you in 5. Hey everybody, Vince here, Game Warden and General Mischief Maker when it comes to the Safe Space show. Just wanted to say, we hope you're enjoying the show so far, and if you want to find out more about the other podcasts and general news that we have on this network, then why don't you follow us on social media. On Twitter, we're at LawbreakerPod, and you can follow us on Instagram at LawbreakerRadio. Just to be clear, that's LORE, Breaker Radio. But follow us there. We'll be sure to follow back and interact with the community and let you know a bit more about what's upcoming on the Lawbreaker Radio Network. But I think without further ado, enough of me. let's get back to the show. And welcome back. So, Dr. Forrest did a heroic deed. Put his hand into the mouth, what he thought was the mouth of this beast, pushing past Blaze Kelvin and dropping a vial of acid in.
Don't tell me it was the anus.
I don't know how aliens work. That'd be even worse for the alien, though. Although, what's happening now is quite bad for it. I will say that. PJ, could you roll me 2d10, please?
$14.
That's how many points of stress you've just gained.
That's how many minutes you have to live.
Although, yeah, okay, right, we're going to get into this now. There is the sudden pain and the crunch as this mouth just instinctively shuts, or whatever this thing is. Like, it's like a mouth within a mouth. It's two sheets of metal that clamp around your wrist, and the pain is unbelievable. You take 13 points of damage.
That gives me a wound.
A wound. So we are going to roll me a d10, please, PJ.
It's a 10.
It's a 10.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I wanted that, did I?
I don't think you wanted any of this.
Oh, you lucky sod. You are very lucky. This is on the gore and massive damage table of the
It's my favourite table.
Yep. If you're a roll, well, no, I would have had to play with that. the things that could have on the wounds table. There's lots of different sort of descriptions of what happens to your character if they get a wound and stuff. And the gore and massive damage. There's lots of horrible things on this. PJ rolled very well, so
good.
You have on your next action. Well, immediately actually, you vomit. You begin throwing up. You have
in its mouth.
You can't on its mouth because its mouth is closed.
Oh yeah.
You have disadvantage on your next action.
Okay.
Could have been so much worse. Oh.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, you could have.
Does he still have a hand?
He still has a hand. It's in this thing at the moment, and the hand.
But it's still attached.
That hand is still attached. Which hand was it, PJ? Right or left?
Favourite.
He wouldn't have thought it through. He'd have just gone instinctively.
His surgical hand.
Annoyingly.
Yeah. It's still in there, and the pain is agonising. And you feel like it's just been torn. It's absolutely torn, but it's still there, and you can still feel the digits moving, and the digits feel heat.
Oh fuck! I've acided my hand.
but it's the heat. Dare I say it? It's like
when your hand is near but not touching acid.
Yeah. Well, yes, but the acid went down.
Yeah.
So it's the heat rising up. So you can already hear the. Now, PJ now has to describe something. Because as the acid burns up the interior of this thing, and bits of it just start falling off, what does it look like when this creature literally burns up from the inside? Your hand is still inside it, and it's trapped. It's like, so this thing's dying. Describe to me what it looks like as Wendy's on this back.
So the smoke sort of starts pouring out of it from everywhere. the dog starts screaming, "Get me out! Get me out!" And yeah, I think that the thing would start sort of almost thrashing around a little bit, I guess, because it's losing control.
Mm.
Would it open its mouth at that point?
It opens its mouth to scream.
I'll allow that. I'll allow
Oh my
that
God.
because you did the killing blow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You do take another 2 points of damage as this thing moves its head,
Okay.
and it tears up like your forearm. Just completely tears it up as you're sort of pulled back. I imagine maybe Blaze is there just to try and pull you out of the way as this thing is rolling, sort of screeching like, and Wendy, like there's smoke billowing out of it, and it's almost like this whole thing is starting to just discombobulate. It's just like it's almost like bits of meat and wires are just going. It's the whole thing is.
And I try and untangle stuff and sort of flip backwards. 'Cause,
Oh, you're gonna have to make a check for it.
yeah, if I don't flip, but then I'll fall. So
If
that's
you want to
good.
keep, you may not have to roll a check if you keep your boots on. You know, if you want to keep your boots and retrieve them afterwards. But if you want to,
I don't want to get burned up. Well, I guess they're pretty ooky anyway. Yeah, I'm going to recognise that I'm going to need new boots.
yeah,
Take my gun and just leap off
okay.
elegantly.
I won't. You can do that. I'm not going to get you to roll for that. Like Wendy can just as soon as the ground softens beneath her, she hops back. It's not the most elegant landing, but this thing, and you can see this thing, and there's as it's sort of coming apart, you can see it's human bits as well. It's like a human being burning from the inside, and it's horrific. The stench is nightmarish. Everyone make a body save.
Am I still at disadvantage?
Yes,
I'm at disadvantage on this one too.
What was it, body?
Mm-hmm. This will not incur stress. This is just this is just something for flavour.
Yeah.
45. So that's a fail.
Okay, Zam, you throw up. Wendy,
17, which is a success.
you do not throw up.
I've had worse Thursdays.
Oh God! Imagine that. I can't make a note of that. Blaze.
36, which is a fail.
Oh yeah, you wretch.
What the fuck was wrong?
It's almost worse now that I'm in a room full of men being sick.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
And what did the doc get as he's looking at his ragged arm?
72 fail.
I love the image of Wendy just absolutely covered in gog going, I've had worse Thursdays. Is everyone else like,
Nothing left in me.
Is the same spell that was coming up the lift, or is this a different spell?
This is a different smell because this is like
Yeah.
this is the acid has burned away something
Good
that's
questions, Vince.
Go
Is
for
that
it.
my disadvantage done?
that was yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one
And
you got.
2, I didn't gain stress for mine, but 2 nearby comrades failed a save. So do I gain stress for that
Yes.
because of deflated?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Do I gain
to kill
stress
me,
for failing?
Do I gain 2 or 1?
One
Do we get stressed for that?
for the not for the
Vomiting.
vomit, not for the vomit. That was just a flavour thing that
I
turned
do.
into a hilarious.
It wasn't a very
I,
nice failing.
if it's for the vomit, PJ, I would say.
Yeah, but, well, for
Oh, they
Blaze and
failed,
Zam
didn't they?
failing
So,
their
yeah. Okay.
saves, yeah.
Okay.
But that was for the vomit, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Vince is mean.
Don't know what you mean. So as this thing sort of like it's just a puddle of meat and parts, machine parts, and it's hissing and it's revolting. You're in the room with this thing, and also like whatever was left of that navigator, the android.
I think I need
There's
new
no
boots.
chance of fixing her, is there?
No.
I'm just going to walk out from the quarters to the office and get to work on my hand with one of my first aid kits.
You were kind of all of this happened within the office type section, so it was kind of like in the doorway of the quarters.
But just move away to somewhere where I can start bandaging and trying to do something.
Yeah, so you can
walk out of the office to get away from the smell.
Yeah.
What size shoes does the android wear?
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
They won't fit ZAM.
No.
Les, you were going to get me some shoes.
I was just going to check them over. But yeah.
They might fit you, Wendy. They're sort of pale. They're not like work boots. These are more like, like the standard flight suit, sort of like a soft sort of boot kind of thing.
Zam will take them off and throw them over to Wendy. Here you go.
Thank you. And I will put them on.
Is there any point in looking around the captain's quarters?
In the captain's quarters, if you want to look around there, the room is dark. I mean, it smells awful in here, and when you shine the light round, there is another thing that is disturbing to look at. Is the walls of this one almost look... There are more sort of like organic. It looks soft around the edges. There's some shapes that are a little bit weird. There's a small sort of hole in one part of the wall, and when the lights don't work in this room at all. You'd have to use your flashlights. And when you sort of something in that hole sort of catches the light of the torch. If you want to do a thorough investigation, there may be a couple of things in here, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's in the hole?
You're approaching that, and when you look through, it's strange at first. It's a reflective surface, because this hole almost looks like a boil or some sort of pucker. It's strange. It's almost like it's peeling away a little bit. And you immediately recognise it, Zam. It looks very, very similar to those satellite panels that you took off 237. It's almost like something's tucked one of them behind the wall. It's weird, but it's the same coloration and everything. It's very odd. In the rest of the room, there is the captain's card, his own card.
Lovely.
There's a box of cigars. He has his own. I mean, his room. I mean, it looks nightmarish now. It's like the upside down version of a nice captain's cabin. But there's like a booze locker and just a spectacular sort of wooden bed. Although the wood looks soft and cracked in places, like it's rotted somewhat. You find a black sort of credit card with the captain's name on it. Captain Preston is the name of this particular captain.
The credit card.
The credit card.
Is there a lighter by the cigars?
Yes.
Can I have 4 cigars and a lighter, please?
Well, you can. I mean, there's a box of. I mean, there's probably. Let's see how many cigars are in there. We love it when we have to roll.
Do you think the captain would want one?
Oh, there's exactly 4 cigars left.
Perfect.
Oh.
So you can take them, and there's a golden lighter that it's got a strange sort of embossing on it. It looks like a sort of a ram's head with like sort of curved horns on it. It looks very expensive, sort of gold and silver inlay.
Wendy comes back out and distributes cigars. It's for the stench. It helps. So we all have a cigar if you want one.
Are you checking the sort of meeting room as well?
I was going to ask first. Does whatever's left of the captain look like it's connected to anything, like deeper in the ship?
I'll give you this.
Yeah.
There are bits certainly on the back, and there's certain tubes that are stuck out, and there's certain. Most of this thing is dissolving and still going, but you were up close and personal with it, and the way that this thing, what's left of this thing, when you look around the wall, there's certain parts of the wall. There's these certain sort of, almost looks like connections that you imagine would marry up with what was in the back of this thing. So maybe he was connected to that in some way. But
disconnected now, though?
He's completely disconnected now. And that's one of the horrifying things about it, because those connectors are sort of built into the wall. So this person would have to been literally sort of stuck into the wall and then stepped out. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to get him to roll for it, but...
No, I was just wondering whether it was worth...
Yeah. I would say with what's going on...
setting fire to what's left of it.
Yeah. God, you want to set fire?
It was just in case this thing was still like in any way...
It doesn't look like... There is a... It's not connected to it now, but there's hints that this thing was in here for a while. And slightly... I mean, looking at that... When you got up close and personal with it, a lot of it was more... it was almost part machine. Do you know what I mean? There was a good part of... It was a merging of human flesh and machinery.
So I'm wondering if you did set fire to it, if the doors then to that room would sort of auto-shut as a kind of security thing, and we could just booze and cigarette lighter it, run away and go...
Right, can I get that panel first?
What, the one with the connectors and stuff?
Yeah.
No, that's...
the echo panel.
That is too... It seems like there's something behind the wall. It's almost like you peel off some wallpaper and there's something behind it.
Just there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't...
Idea then, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave and...
Yeah.
Well, there's the whiskey in there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, there's
so
some more. Yeah, there is. Imagine like the best sort of like hotel in-room bar. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, high quality stuff.
Take the really good stuff and then throw the not so good stuff in the room to set fire to it.
Okay, you want to set fire to the room. Where the remains are, they're kind of like in the doorway between of the quarters. They're not in the quarters. Because you had to fight kind of like in between the two rooms.
I think it's more setting fire to the wall thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to essentially almost like make a sort of put some alcohol down and then Molotov it and see what happens? How do you want to do this? It's the second time I've said that.
It's either that or cut those tendrils off using the hand welder.
Which tendrils are you talking about? Ones in
you know the ones that were coming out the wall. They were going into the captain.
Do you want to cut them out?
Or
he's not connected
do they
now.
Look like
Those
he's not connected now, but do they look like they're still active?
No.
I mean,
leave it then. It might be too dangerous to start setting fire to things.
Now they worry about danger. What is Blaze doing during all of this?
Composing myself and wiping the sick, checking my suit, ruined.
Oh yeah, your bright white
God, yeah.
dress uniform.
This ain't never gonna come out.
Can I go check on the dock?
Yeah.
Zam will come out and he'll just like slap Blaze on the back, and he's got like all that kind of like.
Oh,
weird...
Zam is covered.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
covered in it. So he's going to be like this big handprint on his dress uniform. And he's just going to slap him on the back, give him a well done.
Thanks, Sam. Damn it. Hey, Doc. How's the hand holding up?
I've been better.
Hey, Doc, do you need a stim pack?
I've got some of my own, thank you.
All right. Well, I think it's about time we evacuate.
We need to get to the cryopods.
What the hell for?
And then we still need to get the pod to repair our own ship, or we're not going anywhere.
God damn it.
The cryopods are back down near where we came in. We go down there, we check on the surviving passengers, we go down one more level, we get the pod we need, we leave.
Oh, as simple as that, eh?
I mean, nothing's ever simple, but it's what we've got.
I hope you got more of that acid.
No,
Whatever that was.
no, I don't.
Doc, do you have pain pills? Did you bring any with you?
I've got first aid kits, if they have them in them, which I would assume they do.
Oh, no. One of them did have pain pills, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you found some pain pills, didn't you?
Yeah.
Doc, you would know that pain pills, when ingested, they immediately restore 1d10 health and lowers your stress by 1. But there is danger of addiction and stuff, but that's literally if you're popping them all the time.
Can we assume I've taken one?
Yes, if you take one, you know that to sort of.
Okay.
I would say once you've bandaged up, you'd be like,
Yeah.
popping it and then.
So what? Sorry, what was it? You restore.
You restore 1d10 health per pill.
Okay, so with this, because I've gone onto the second row after taking my wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So if I've just rolled a 6, so I restore the 2 from that row and then go back up to the other row, or
normally wounds take a bit longer to sort of heal. I mean, you'll still be wounded, but yeah, you go up to the. I would say you go up to the next level. You know, you've still got that bad wound on your arm. That's not going away. It's not like it's magically.
Yeah. And how much stress was it reduced?
By 1 for each pill.
1. Oh, good, down to 17.
It's the difference between life and death sometimes.
Yeah, no.
Says the doctor.
I hand him the best bottle of whiskey that I spotted with my limited knowledge of expensive booze. There you go.
Thank you, Wendy. I'll take a look and go.
Oh, is it not good?
I mean, it's a really nice ship. I mean, the Space Galliano, the stuff in the bar was wonderful.
Yes, I'm guessing this was a gift from a passenger.
Oh.
Can ZAM check comms to see if comms are working now?
There is like a comm unit there, but you press it and it seems to be on. But there's no real sense that you can use it, but you don't know how well it's working.
Earlier, did we try and go to the bridge?
Yeah,
that was where you met
we went in
Cal.
there.
Yeah, that's where we found out there was nothing wrong with the actual communication.
Oh, yeah.
Something is blocking it.
Okay. I mean, I'm quite tempted to go back to the spa.
Right, hang on.
You say that out
Should
loud.
we go? Should we?
I mean, I'm quite tempted to go back to the spa.
You are
Should we
here,
go to
goddamn
emergency equipment?
Probably.
Bob?
So
I'm sorry, Sam.
There's emergency equipment. Maybe we should check that out. It's further down in the ship,
Oh, yeah.
through the star pool.
Okay.
Wendy is oddly lively.
I'm energized.
Okay.
Yes, said that way.
Okay, so we go to the emergency equipment.
So-
Then straight
To the cryopods,
cryopods.
then to the engine thingy. I'm not a tech guy.
I think you should hang back, Doc.
I'm coming with you.
Well, yeah, but just
Oh, I'm standing behind you. I'm not
Stay
a fucking
behind.
idiot.
if anything, Doc, you take one of these.
And I hand him a pistol with 3 rounds in it.
I mean, there's a first time for everything, isn't there?
Well, I never thought the Doc would hit anyone with a meat hammer, but that happened earlier in this campaign. Okay.
Like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay, so you head out of the captain's office and the quarters.
Oh, there's somebody in the VIP lounge as well, though, isn't there?
There was like a very dead-looking somebody.
Yeah.
We're
We're not going there?
No.
wasn't on the doc's list.
As you head
I
back
can help it.
through this deck, past the 2 lifts, and you can see the open crew lift, which is still sort of twitching a little bit, and the lights are flickering on, but it's still sort of stuck at an angle. As you walk through, you're and the sounds of metal creaking in a way, which is quite disconcerting. And but you pass the VIP lift, past the Wings of Icarus staircase, the crescendo of the Wings of Icarus staircase, which is still a magnificent thing, although the rest of you right now you're just looking absolutely state. They're looking like they're in a horror film now, and I love it. I am here for it. And there's the double doors, which Wendy looked at before. She looked through before, and you open up into the sort of the pool and the deck side area of this spaceship. It's completely set up like there's an enormous swimming pool outside, and the rest of you see now that when you look up, it's startling to begin with, because you can see space. It doesn't look like there's anything between you and the void and vacuum of space until your eyes slightly adjust, and you can just make out the details of hexagonal shapes of like the dome that is encompassing this entire space. It's like unlike anything you've ever seen before. There's some holographic palm trees, and there's loungers. There's a large sort of decking area, and there's some steps leading up to a large balcony that's even closer to the skies above. On the far right hand side, there's nobody here. Absolutely no one here. To the right hand side, you can see a bar, an empty looking bar that is considerably more Hawaiian themed than the one that was downstairs. On the left hand side, you see a sign that says emergency equipment, and as you step through, you do see that the swimming pool, the large oval swimming pool, the star pool that was spoken about in some of the introduction videos, it should be clear, like wonderful blue water. It almost looks black. It looks like oil.
So wanted to go for a swim.
Let's keep our distance from that.
And it even bubbles a little bit.
Okay, double time.
Yeah.
But can we quietly double time?
You're at the deck. Keep it down.
And Zam, you immediately move over.
Zam is going to waddle over to emergency equipment.
Okay. And the door opens up, and a lot of this emergency equipment is lifeguard kind of gear. There are flotation devices.
Hell yeah!
There's
Pool noodles. Here we go.
There is nothing. This is not emergency equipment full of weapons and ammo. This is how to keep tourists safe when they're having a swim. But there is an emergency med kit. There is another med kit that has some stim packs. It has the
Take that.
stuff.
I lean over to Zam in his ear.
Any more bright ideas, grease monkey?
So the cryopods then.
Have you all stepped into the emergency equipment?
No.
Okay.
Wendy
We
is
can see in there,
shuffling. I'm nearby, but I've stayed out because I'm grumpy about the pool not being available.
Okay. So where are you at the moment, Wendy? Just so we can paint a picture.
Just outside the door of emergency equipment.
Okay.
Just below the word area on the map, if that helps.
And as the rest of them are sort of in, and the dock, you can take the med kit.
Yep.
Which is very similar to what was on the bridge. It doesn't have a pistol, of course, but it's got there's more pain pills and there's more bandages and all this stuff. So you're getting a little collection of things. Although there is, you do see in this place, there is a cooler box like people have on the beach. So if you wanted to put some stuff in there and carry it around, you can do that. I don't know where you guys came into this place with toolboxes, and I don't know where you've left them. That's on me, because you came in here with emergency maintenance equipment
In the restaurant, probably, when we were...
Yeah. Sam's going to turn to Wendy and say out loud, "Hey, Wendy, there's nothing of any interest in emergency equipment, but maybe you could teach Blaze how to use a gun, because his keeps jamming, and you seem to be more of a Marine than he is." And then just walks off.
I cock my pistol.
I'll show you how to use a gun.
He sparks up his hand welder and says, "I did more damage with this."
This could wait.
As this is happening,
I mean, I'm happy to let this go. This is fun.
Me and you, Sam. All I need is 3 minutes.
I just need 2. And then he walks through the double doors into the staircase.
as Zam begins walking over to the double doors, and and Wendy, you clock this first. There's someone coming down from those steps leading up to the balcony, and they've got a gun in their hand. It's not pointed at you, it's down by their side. They are wearing a sort of a dark blue, a bluey grey sort of almost overall. It still bears the sort of look of the stylings of the other uniforms that you've seen here. And when they see you, you lock eyes with them, they sort of hold their hand up briefly. They're a little distance away, but they hold their hand up. Does
the uniform look like the crew kind of grey uniform, or does it look like the security uniform that we
it
would have
looks
seen?
It's less security, it's more like one of the crew. Slightly different, but more like one of the crew. And you can see there's a name across that says Hutch in big bold letters. What's this? I wish you no harm.
We come in peace?
Are you Marines? I heard you say you were Marines.
Some of us are, or have been, or may well one day be Marines.
I don't understand. Why?
Yes.
Yes, we're Marines.
Are you crew?
Zam snorts when Blaze says we're Marines.
Really good, Sam.
I am
3 minutes.
Only need 2.
as this figure who has like sort of pale, sort of waxy skin, but they do look sort of like very humanoid in appearance. But their hair looks a little tousled. It's fairly sort of almost looks bleach blonde in a lot of ways. But they've got like a stocky face. Less sleeker than Cal or some of the other sort of people you've seen here. And may I approach? I mean you no harm. And he just drops the gun immediately.
Sure. Come on.
I take a step back.
Tell me what's happened with this pool.
Oh, you don't want to swim in there.
No, I really did, but now I don't.
I think it's, I think there's something in there.
Uh-huh.
I thought this was one of the safer places, but I don't know. I've been watching that pool for days now, and sometimes I see things move in there.
How many days?
I've been, I was activated about 6 days ago. I didn't know what had happened at first. All of the passengers were nowhere to be found. The other droids on the ship, they were already activated when I woke up, and they were acting strangely. Some of them acted violently to each other. I'm just a maintenance droid. I'm not an engineer. And you can see like he's got like one of the bands on his arm sort of says maintenance. And it is more of like a boiler suit kind of thing. And he looks confused. But you do notice he's a lot more lucid than the other ones that you've met. Oh. I thought they had sent someone to help. And when you said you were Marines, I thought someone had been sent to get the passengers to safety.
We're working on it.
As soon as we can find them.
I know, there are some down in Cryo Bay. I have been monitoring them when I can. But the rest I do not. Do you know where they are? I have not seen them. Something is badly wrong with this ship.
Why don't you come down to the cryopods with us?
Certainly, I can show you.
If you show us the way, yes.
Yes. And he begins walking, and he leaves the pistol behind. Are you? What happened to you? You look. Did you? Oh God! Did you see one of them?
We met your captain.
He didn't take kindly to us.
The captain? I have not seen the captain this whole time.
No, I don't think you're going to either.
Is he dead?
I think he's been dead a while.
Oh, yes.
Who's running the ship? I don't understand. I am just a maintenance droid, but surely I don't know who would be in authority of...
I don't think anybody is at the moment. Your ship, it's done. We just need to find anyone who...
Yes, we need to...
might still be alive and leave.
Yes, I need to get the people off the ship. My primary programming is to keep the passengers and humans aboard this vessel safe. It is all. It's my base set of programs, and we must get whoever we can off this vessel immediately. I will do what I can to help, but you must be careful. There are other things on board. I do not venture lower into the ship than I have to.
I'm afraid we need to visit the engine room as well.
And at this, he sort of stiffens up a bit. The engine room? Why do you need to... Why? I do not understand.
Our ship needs a part. It's broken down. We can't get very far without one.
You are a broken ship, here to fix a broken ship.
It's broken in a different way.
And now he's sort of looking at you all in a kind of like taking you all in for the first time, sort of absolutely covered in gore, bandaged, and there's a sort of recognition that you sort of see in androids of just now he's sort of focusing. You are not here to save us, are you?
We were told that your communications were down. We came to fix them. We found this, whatever this is. And now that we are here, we're going to try and save anybody we can. Good.
As he's talking, like, the pool begins to bubble up once more, and he immediately clocks it. Let us go now. I will. We need to barricade this door. I do not have significant clearance to lock the door properly. That would be the captain's job.
I have the captain's card. Key card.
And Hutch sort of leads you out, and as the door's sort of shut, he shows you how to sort of swipe the card, and you hear and a red light appear above the double doors. You can see through the stained glass of those beautiful double doors. The water sort of bubbles up and then down again, and settles back once more. As this android sort of looks at you, and it's genuine concern on his face. You can see this now, whereas the others were just sort of like they were spaced out. It's someone that's almost woken up into this and doesn't know what's going on. Follow me, and he leads you down onto the guest floor. So where are we going?
To the cryopods.
You're heading straight to the cryopods.
Cryopods.
Okay, which is on the...
We're going down 2 levels.
You're going down
2 levels, yeah.
2 levels, yeah.
Are we not going to stop at the bar and lounge area and pick up the tools and stuff first?
So are you going to head on the guest floor?
Yeah, because we come down the stairway. It's just a quick through the double doors to just pick up the tools.
Okay.
Yeah. Check and see if Klaus is still asleep behind the bar.
Yeah, and you do see the bartender droid is still sat there like that. Still like the blood from where Zam hit him with a bottle of liquor. And as you walk in, there's certain parts of the carpet that feel softer than normal. You notice that sort of bit spongy underneath your feet, and then you pick up the tools and leave once again. As you see, as Hutch walks in, and he sort of looks around like he hasn't been to this part of the ship before. This way.
It's nice.
And he follows it down. He pays even no attention to the blood or the other bartender at the other side. And he leads you down to the crew deck. Okay, I'm just going to get my map in front of me. And you see the arrival hall with the crew lift. There's no video, there's no cheesy video playing now. And Hutch steps up and begins leading you through past a sort of service ladder. There's a hatch. When he passes through the first door, you can see there's a med bay on your right hand side, and there's the door right in front that leads towards the cryopods. Which direction would you want to go? Do you want to go through med bay or the past the service ladder?
Let's go through the med bay.
Okay.
No, there's going to be stuff in the med bay, and there's the morgue. Service ladder, straight in. Boom, done.
What would you like to do, players?
thinking there might be supplies that we could use in the med bay as well. That's. Let's vote. Let's take a vote.
Okay. Who votes heading straight past the service ladder towards the cryopod, and who wants to do a detour through the med bay?
Service ladder.
Service ladder.
I was going to say medbay, but then I remembered that Zam gave Wendy boots, so she's like, "Yeah, all right, service ladder."
Yeah.
Doc says med bay, but he's outvoted. So
yeah. There is another access to the med bay from the cryopod, though. You do know that, so you can come back that way if you want.
And are these doors with nice handy windows, so we could look for trouble before we go in?
This initial door isn't. It's like a solid door because it's just crew only. You know, they don't want the guests seeing like. And when you pass through this door and you see a hatch, it's just a simple looking hatch. That says service ladder, leading further downwards, and the door straight ahead. And you notice that these parts of the ship, there's no bells and whistles. Do you know what I mean? You saw the glitz and glam. This is the. I mean, it's still nicer crew working conditions than what you're used to, but it's still the crew sort of area, as it were. And there's a simple sort of corridor, and he opens up the cryo bay, and what you see is and when it opens, there is a large this cryopod area is a large room, very large room, and it's humming with power, as you know, the sort of power that you need to the lights are not working properly, they're a little bit dim. And there's empty cryopod chambers. And there's also part of the room that looks a little different to the rest of it. There's a section of this cryopod room, I think it's on the left-hand side, where it looks like the floor has sort of bent inwards. Or it's like a sinkhole. A sinkhole has started to happen, and some of the cryopods are in it and sort of heading downwards. There is another strange thing in this room. It's an enormous panel that seems to be growing out from the floor of the cryo bay, and it is cutting. It has cut one of the cryopods in half. And this cryopod had a body in it. And it's cutting the cryopod in half. And this panel looks like a very large panel from a satellite relay. And it looks like it's just been pushed up. But the ground, the floor where the panel has been pushed up, it's weird. It doesn't look smashed. It's almost like it's soft. It almost looks like something has just pushed it through somehow. It's a strange experience. Everyone, make me a sanity save.
But still at disadvantage.
No, by this time you're and Zam, you're back to regular again because the time has passed.
Sorry, what are we doing? Sanity.
Sanity save, please. Okay, Zam, what do we get?
98.
Oh, success then.
So you get a stress for that?
Oh, fucking hell, Zam, I'd succeeded, and I have to get a fucking stress now for you fucking...
It's all because Blaze riled me up. That's what it is.
Yeah. Wendy, what did you get?
That's better than I thought it was, but it's still not good enough. It's a 35 against a 20. So that's a fail.
I get a stress for that as well.
Wait, does he just keep getting stresses off of everyone's fails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaze, what did you get?
Love me. 18 out of 20.
Knew you were my favourite.
Yeah. It's because I've got under ZAM skin, so I'm all like...
See, I rolled a fucking 4, and I've still got 2 stresses.
More pain pills.
Yeah.
Up one of your pills, Doc.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get off this fucking ship.
The arm hurts. Doc.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know.
Back down to 18.
The pain pills are there.
Yeah, I've taken one.
Have you just taken another one?
Yeah, just the one.
Okay. You know the danger of it, Doc. So.
Yeah.
But right now it's survival, baby. That's what it's all about. But like, rescue. This doesn't make sense. It's like the left half of the room has started to deteriorate and rot and like sink in, and then you've got this part of another ship that doesn't make any sense. And close to where this is happening, there is a pod with a few more human bodies in it.
I go over and I check that pod.
There's the pod that is next to the one that I said was sliced in two. You see, well, it's almost like being pushed through. And there was a body in it, seemed to be a human man. And you don't know if, I mean, the pod itself is just a red smear. Do you know what I mean? Whatever happened, the impact of it. And the pod that's next to it has Sarah Madigan in it. And she's very close. She's the closest to where this whole room is starting to degrade. But she's asleep.
Can we move these pods?
That would take equipment. We do not.
Okay, then we're waking her up.
You wish to? Okay. We would need the captain's. Yes.
It's made of something. It makes that noise when you pull it out of the pocket. I can open any door.
Yeah. And you see, like, by these cryo bays, there are like little keyboards, and you put a card in, and it's a wonderful sort of retro futuristic sort of monitor. You know, the green type, and Hutch sort of stays there for a bit. And then from his pocket he pulls out a couple of wires, and he plugs himself in to it. And when he plugs himself into his neck, you can see the emblem of the Amalgamated Interests logo, because that's the type of android he is. Top range. Dick Sloane wasn't, of course, but pour one out. He's still alive. He's still alive. He's still alive. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
we're gonna fix him.
And he plugs himself in, and he goes to plug it into the. He's about to plug it into the sort of monitor and the console, and he pauses for a moment, and he looks up at you all. I haven't connected myself to the system since I awoke. The way I figured it. All of my compatriots that have been connected to the system were corrupted in some way.
Can we open the pod without you connecting to the system?
I cannot think of another way, but...
Then this is how we save the passengers.
Yes. You're right. And he plugs in. You hear sort of... And he pauses for a second, and his eyes close. And you can see like some rapid eye movement happening beforehand. And
I whisper to Blaze, maybe point your gun at his head.
10-4.
As he sort of... The eyes are closed, and there's rapid eye movement, and his hand sort of goes over the sort of keyboard in front, and he just starts typing in things. He's not looking, but you can see that he's filling in like the passcodes and stuff like that. And then it begins the wake up sequence. And you can see in this particular cryo tube, there is it's a young, well, it's a female in her mid-20s, short blondish hair, although a little longer than in the image that you saw, Doc. Absolutely, there's no discerning. There's a small bit of a tattoo just on the top part of her clavicle. But other than that, she's just in the simple sort of PJs. Your sleeping cryo PJs, whatever they are. And the pod begins to and open up, and then it's sort of it's blocked by something. She begins. There seems to be the system does not want to open. I do not understand. And you see, like, on the screen, like a malfunction. Boop, 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 boop. You can see the girl in the pod, like, she's sort of beginning to wake up somewhat, but the doors, it's not opening properly.
We see any sort of physical block or obstacles.
It
stopping them?
doesn't. It doesn't seem to be. You're quite close to where that satellite sort of panel is, and some of the degradation and stuff. But there's nothing really there. It's almost like something's blocking it. It's like something's stopping it from opening.
Sam, can you get this open?
Screwdriver.
I think the crowbar's in the toolkit, isn't it?
A crowbar.
Yeah.
So can use the crowbar to try and open it.
And as you're doing this, there's like a tsh of gas that begins to seep into this cryopod. So it's going bam, 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 bam. And that's
dangerous gas.
Dangerous, yes. It's
okay.
Carbon dioxide is just being poured into this thing as she's getting that. Zam, are you going to try and brute force this thing?
Yeah.
As this is going bam, bam, bam,
Well,
bam.
I mean, do they want me to?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Then
I'm just worried it's going to make the gas worse.
the thing is trying to close as well. It's sort of stopped and then it's
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
close up, but you've managed to get the crowbar in before it can
Yeah.
close.
Okay.
Make a strength check.
Force it, then.
Brute force it. Make a strength check.
Have I got anything? Can I add mechanical repair or industrial equipment or?
I'll allow mechanical repair. Is anyone else doing anything while Zam's doing this?
Wendy was going to
Is
go
anybody
and
gonna
look
help?
see if there was any oxygen or breathable air
There are
masks.
there are
either
some-
here
yeah.
or if not in this room, then in the med
There are
bay.
rebreathers on the wall. There's a like a sort of a unit that has some.
Yeah, yoink.
I got a 91, so
It's not
that's a,
it's not working, and you get a point of stress.
yep.
Zam, as this thing's starting to close down, she's like,
What are you doing, Sam? Stop tickling it and open it.
"What are you doing?"
Why don't you come over here and help me?
God damn it.
And you see Hutch
I'll
is
rush
like
in as well and
he's
also help.
He's like furiously sort of typing at the keys, like, "I'm trying. This is trying to lock. It's trying to lock me out." What are you doing?
Good ball. Yeah, all three of us try.
All three of us,
together.
yeah.
So how are you going to do this? The crowbar's still in there.
I think we're all gonna like try and bounce on it at the same time.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, push.
Oi.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
at the moment, there's any sort of lift. If I can get the rebreather thing, I don't know what size this
Okay.
is and the
Yeah.
gap.
You're
but if I could
going
get
to
it
have to
into
try and.
her.
I mean, it's either you can either try and get it onto her. There's like it's like a mask with a small tank. If you know what I mean. So you could try and get it onto her, or you could try
Yeah.
and pull her out. Are you going to try and get the mask onto her?
Yeah, because I don't think they can hold the thing open for very long.
Okay. Big roll. It'll be with advantage because everyone's chipping in. But it's going to be a strength roll. Who would like to make the roll? Not Wendy, because Wendy's doing something else.
Well,
I
if I
assume
can
not
still,
me. My strength's 32.
if I can still use my mechanical repair, then that takes it up to 49. And if I got advantage, could
Damn.
try that.
He's in the most optimal position. We're helping Zam.
He's the fulcrum.
The linchpin.
Right, so I've rolled a 48. So we've done it. But
Okay.
do you want me to
Do you want?
re-roll?
You can
Yeah, you might
just
get
in
a
case I
critical.
You might
get
get
a
critical.
double.
Yeah, yeah, you could get critical.
And then the lid just flies off.
No, we'll ignore that one. 48.
And sure enough, like all three of them, and it does take a lot. And Doc, you're helping as well, and your arm is agony as they're all screaming and just open it up, and it's starting to open up. And Wendy, you get your hand under, and you help sort of lift it up as this girl's going, and mask on her, or are you trying to grab her out? What's Wendy doing?
How long will it take to get her out?
Yeah, she's strapped in at all? Or...
She's not really strapped in.
And is there enough gap that if they can hold it open?
They succeeded with all three of them.
Yeah.
In
which
you don't
case,
know how long it's going to last.
in which case I'll go ninja grab.
Okay. Then talk me into it, Wendy. What do you want to roll?
Whew. I'm going to try and grab her by the shoulders because, I'm good at getting people's legs chopped off. So I'm going to rescue the top half of her.
Oh God. Right.
So that if they drop it, it's,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's going to be probably a strength check. If you're trying to grab her out, it'd be a strength check. It probably would have been a speed if you were just getting the mask on to make sure she stayed alive.
Strength is better. And can I use my athletics?
You can.
What about your military training as well?
Nothing. I don't know if that.
Nothing trains you for this.
Dragging my compatriots away from battle zones. With or without all of their
Okay. You talk me into it. Yeah.
Right.
I'm being very generous.
Hang on, that's not advantage. It's just an extra 10. So I'm looking for less than 47. Come on, purple. Oh no. 62. Luckily, it wasn't critical.
So how are you getting into this? Are you reaching in?
I was kind of reaching in to grab her kind of under the shoulders and pull her out.
Okay.
Head first.
So you get a good part of the way in, you get hold of her, and she's like, and you see the panic on her eyes, and then the thing closes again.
Ow!
The thing closes again on you, Wendy. How far in did you get? Did you go into... Was it just your arms that went in?
I'm thinking I might have had a bit of a shoulder and possibly even my head in there.
Yeah, so you get your head... So basically, from there upwards, you're in. So it comes down on there for 6 points of damage.
Oof.
And you are trapped as this thing is... It wants to close, but now there's a Wendy in the middle of it.
So the airflow is better.
Yeah. You're in there with the rebreather, yeah? Yeah, so you got it.
Yeah.
You put it on the girl's face. Yeah.
Plan B.
But also, you put it on the girl's face, but now you're in here with this gas as well. So the others are going to have to act quick.
Sam, could you use your welder to get through this thing?
There's all this thing. Bam, 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 bam.
I don't think the welder's going to cut through it, is it? Because it's a welder more than it is a cutter.
It's a glass. I mean, it's a thick glass thing. This is used to...
It's not going to set it on fire. I saw that look, Vince. I saw that.
We're all like, now, carbon dioxide and...
Oxygen.
Yeah. I think probably just we should try for the three of us. Shove it open.
Okay. So do you want to go again?
Yeah.
But Wendy's
Same
still
roll as
Wendy's still trapped in. Yeah, you can make the roll before, unless someone. Here's what you could do.
Oh no, the android is.
He's sort of plugged in, and he's trying
Yeah.
to. He's stopping it from shutting completely. It's almost like he's fighting a system that's trying to shut it. So, so someone could try and help pull Wendy out, which will help pull the girl out, while the other two can. I'm being very generous here.
I'll help pull Wendy out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grab her by her belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so I got to roll lower than a 49 again. Yeah?
Okay. Yep. Both of you have advantage on this.
Yeah.
People at home, I know I'm being very generous, and there's probably be like, well, I think you're being too kind to them.
This is strength.
Strength. Yeah. Yeah.
And can I put in athletics
You can.
or military training?
Yeah. Yeah.
And can I be helpful?
Yes. So you'll get
And
advantage on
cooperative.
this because Wendy's. So you're basically making Wendy's roll essentially because she's just, something's crunched. Probably there. Oh God, the pain. The pain. I can't imagine.
It was with advantage, yeah?
Yeah, you both got advantage on your rolls.
Okay. First roll was an 83. Second roll. It's a 19.
Oh, you're going to say 90 something for a moment.
So it's
1-9.
you immediately
19.
feel the pressure release. on your
Sam's
shoulder.
just kind of like, oh, God damn it.
My first roll was 68, which would have been a fail. And then I got a 27, which my strength is 26. But plus 10 because of the athletics.
You prick.
So I get her out.
And you just like pull them out, and this girl sort of tumbles out as well. Like, and as she tumbles out, there's sort of like the heart monitors and stuff. Just and this thing, it closes so forcefully once Sam lets go that part of the glass cracks.
I'm instantly down checking on her.
She's coughing and she's like. Of course,
First
you
aid
know
kit, stim pack, all
she's so you're instantly trying to reduce the cryo sickness.
Yep.
And as she's going, and then while the doc's doing this, the girl, what are the rest of you doing apart from recovering? As Wendy's like, you can see Blaze that she's damaged her shoulder.
Are you holding up?
Droid unhooked himself.
Yeah, he's got, and he unhooks himself at the same time. He's like, ah. He looked like when it shut, there was a like a power surge. He sort of went, and he sort of pulled himself free, and he's just there going. Ah. And you see like a little bit of android blood from his eye and from his nose. He's like, oh God, is she okay? Is she alive?
She's alive.
You see, like she's groggily trying to wake up at the moment. Blaze, Zam, Wendy, you have a moment as the doc is checking over this girl.
Wendy, I noticed on the ship manifest that there's a security equipment with a safe. I see you got the captain's card. Now I reckon.
Alright.
Now I reckon there might be some heavy equipment that we could use against some of these beasts. Do you want to go look?
Okay. Can we go through the med bay?
You can see like
Just
there's some bones.
Take the edge off.
There's some bones sticking through the skin. Wendy, like she's.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, we'll get you squared away. Doc,
You know.
Doc, do you need her taken to the med bay?
I point to what's her name again? Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Are we not going to try and rescue the others? We just came here for one girl.
There's like 3 or 4 people still there.
You want to do that again?
What?
Hutch, can you open those? Will the system allow you?
Hutch sort of blinks his eyes. I can try.
Do you know why it wants to keep him?
I do now.
Why?
I swear to God, Hutch, if you say the word consume.
I don't know. They are becoming it. It is... I don't know another...
Can we save them?
I think these people here may be some of the only ones who are not infected in some way. Yet we do not have... It knows.
We got time to save them.
If we do, we have to do it now.
Open the pods, Hutch.
God damn it, we're doing it again.
And as they move, and you go to move, Doc, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Just grab hold of your jacket, and as this girl looks up at you.
It's okay, Sarah.
How the hell do you know her name? What the hell's going on here, Doc?
Mr. Forrest, what the fuck are you doing here?
Mr. Forrest.
That's a long story, which I will gladly tell
cowboy. You only came down here just to save one person?
We will save as many as we can, Zam.
What are you talking about?
Sarah,
what's going on?
I need you to calm down.
Where's my husband? He was right next to me. Where's he? As she looks back to the cryopod that has been split in half. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. You have been listening to Safe Space, a tabletop role-playing podcast featuring the Mothership game system by Tuesday Night Games. Playing the game were Jim Bampfield as ZAM BRAZEL, Lizzie Boyle as Wendy, Gavin Mitchell as Dick Sloane, PJ Montgomery as Dr. Bill Forrest, and Vince Hunt as the Game Warden. Podcast produced and edited by Vince Hunt. In-game music composed by Tabletop Audio. Visit tabletopaudio.com to discover a world of ambient music you can use in your home games. The Safe Space theme was composed by ELIOT Red. Find more of ELIOT's work on YouTube. To find out more about the Mothership RPG system, visit mothershiprpg.com. Follow the show on social media at SafeSpaceRPG, and for more podcasts, visit lawbreaker.podbean.com. This has been a Lawbreaker Radio production.